Most business owners think that you need a huge budget and large perks to be able to produce a great company culture. That's actually not true. My name is Dayana. I'm an operations and growth strategist, and I help entrepreneurs and small business owners to be able to scale their companies through building high performing teams as well as automating their business systems and processes. So, today we're going to talk about 5 ways of being able to increase your company culture with less than $1,000. This is going to be extremely pivotal for small business owners and smaller companies to make the most out of their budgets, because obviously everyone starting out doesn't have a huge budget, and that is okay. You do not have to spend tens of thousands of dollars on your company culture, especially in the beginning, but there's ways of being able to increase it slowly but surely along the way. So the first reason, or the first topic that I want to discuss, is monthly team huddles, and you bring in a catered lunch. Or you might have donuts and coffee, whatever that might be. So you would go along the same cadence of what you would normally do. So say if you all have every fourth Tuesday of the month, you all have a morning huddle, and maybe that huddle is virtual if your team is remote, maybe it's in person. Whichever one it is, this actually works for both, because if it's in person, then you just cater the lunch if it's around lunchtime, or if it's in the morning, then you just get coffee and donuts, maybe even some kolaches, and just have everyone come into whatever meeting room you all normally meet in. Or if you all normally don't do that, have everyone to come in that day and just do a small little something for the team. That really goes a long way, and it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. So on average, especially for lunch, I wouldn't spend any more than $5 to $7 per person. It sounds like it's not enough, but I guarantee you, especially whenever you're purchasing things in bulk, go with catering companies. So I know like Jimmy John's, they cater. Olive Garden caters. I'm trying to think of other places that are large, like Texas Roadhouse, those types of places, they all cater. And so if you just go to them, tell them how many people it is, I guarantee you can get something within that budget, and that'll make it very cost efficient and cost effective for you. Now, let's not leave out the people who are remote. This is also remote friendly as well. So if you have any team members that are not physically in the office, or maybe your entire team is like that, what you do is you send them a DoorDash gift card, maybe a day or two beforehand, and you can simply just email that to them. That's super easy. Make it, I would say, if you're going to do DoorDash, probably about $20 or so should get them a good meal, maybe $25. Um, and then just either do it for lunch or for breakfast. If you're doing it for breakfast, it'll probably be a little bit cheaper because you can get a coffee and maybe like a Danish or something for a lot less than you can for a lunch. But again, just have everyone to meet on the team huddle. This is a time for you all to talk about what's working within the business. This is a time to give shout outs and just build that morale that might be lacking within the company, to have it in a more relaxed setting, whether that's in person or whether that's virtual. But that is a great way to be able to bring everyone together for a cost efficient way. The next thing I want to talk about is a peer appreciation program. So with this is going to be anywhere from, I would say, free to maybe $100 at the most. The reason this could get up to $100 is only because of the software that you use. So say if you're using Slack costs, especially if you have a larger team. And so that's what I mean by that's when it would actually cost you. But otherwise, what you're doing for this particular method will not cost you at all. What this is you have your colleagues, you might have some type of thing in place where they can either send each other virtual thank you cards or virtual kudos, or just give a shout out in the Slack channel, or send in like an anonymous, I hate to say an anonymous tip, but something like that to HR or whoever is doing all of the company emails, and have that sent out to everyone. That's a nice way to recognize someone and make them feel seen by just letting everyone see it, and do it publicly, because some people like to be publicly acknowledged, some people don't, but I guarantee you, regardless, they're going to be appreciative that someone notices their hard work, and that goes a long way for them. So that's one of the things that I would do. And then I would also do a value-based recognition system. So what this one is, this can cost you anywhere from, I would say, it could be free, but I would highly encourage you to put some money behind it. So anywhere from, you could do around $25, you could do around $100, whatever you want it to do, but I would not go over $100. That's a bit excessive. So with this, what I would do is have someone who is embodying your company your company core values. So whatever those might be, make sure it is someone who is living, eating, and breathing them on a daily basis, to be setting that example for the rest of the organization, and reward them for that. It's easier said than done for people to um, live, eat, and breathe the values on a daily basis, but if they're doing it, that's what they should be doing. But oftentimes we find that in companies, not everyone is fully aligned. And so I would reward that behavior, so that way it shows and that it's reinforcing that that is the type of behavior that you want to acknowledge. And that's the type of behavior that you want to continue to see within your organization. And then it also can highlight, say, if you have an employee of the month, that's the perfect time to implement an employee of the month if you don't already have one, is just by recognizing whoever it is that is getting that recognition at that time. So number 4, I want to talk about personal and professional development. This one's really important because I think sometimes it gets overseen, because everyone, whenever you think about company culture, you think about anonymous surveys, you think about doing large parties, Christmas parties, Halloween parties, anything you really can, going bowling, whatever that might be. But let's think about the professional and the personal development of the actual person. That's telling the person that you actually care about who they are, not just what they do. So I know some companies, they have it to where you can submit like a request to go to a certain conference and they will pay for it, which I think is fantastic. There's other companies where they will pre-pick a conference for you all to go to. That also works. But there's another way that you can do this. It is a little bit more, I wouldn't say it's complicated, but it definitely needs more sort of a system behind it to make sure that you're able to track who's doing what, when they're doing what, how much money they've used of their stipend. But I would just allot $100 to $200 per person. And what I would do is I would let them pick a course. I would let them pick a workshop, a conference to go to, or even a couple of books that they want to read, that are either, it can be about what they do at work, or it could be something that's just dealing with growth and mindset. That way they can continue to develop themselves personally, and then that will in turn help them to continue to develop themselves professionally, which will in turn help you and your business to continue to be able to scale efficiently and effectively. So that's one of the things that often gets overlooked sometimes. And you can do it different ways. Like I said, you can do it to where, say, if you have a marketing department and you find this awesome marketing workshop that you want everyone to go to, and it's pretty tailored to what they do, but then there's still some mindset, some growth aspects. That's perfect. Just say, hey guys, I'm going to purchase y'all tickets to this. It's for 3 days, whatever. No need to come into the office. I want you all to be fully immersed in this conference or in this event, and then have them to bring back whatever their takeaways are. Sometimes I see people that they just send them to a conference with no, like, not getting any more feedback after the conference. And so I want to encourage you to make sure that you get feedback from the team, see ways and things like that that you can actually implement, and have those key takeaways, because that's the purpose of having that event, is to continue to invest in your team so they can continue to invest in your company in a way that is in line with your overall objectives for the company. And so then lastly is just clearly defining and reinforcing your core values. It's hard for people to follow something and live by something if they don't see it or hear it on a regular basis. One of the ways that you can do this is just by getting digital, you can make like a little like something in Canva, like a little post, and you can put it in your emails that you send out to your team on a weekly basis or monthly basis, whatever that looks like, in your newsletters. You can also have it to where you create a couple of Canva things that people can add as screensavers if they want to on their company computers. You can also have, if you're physically in an office, have some posters around. That way it's insight, because there's a saying called out of sight, out of mind, and that is so, so true. If you don't see things on a regular basis, it's very easy for them to just escape your mind. So I want to make sure that we're being intentional with what we're doing and making sure that it is always in front of the team members at all times, so that way they can never say, oh, well, I forgot that that was one of our core values. Like, no, it's actually like right there, right there on your screen. So I know you see it on a daily basis. And I know sometimes we get used to seeing the same things over and over and over. So switch it up. Maybe it's in a certain area of the office 1 month or for a quarter. and then HR might switch it to another area. That way it keeps things fresh, keep things moving, and then also including it in your meetings. If you have weekly team meetings or bi-weekly or monthly, whatever that is, include them in your team meetings, because that is going to be pivotal to setting that precedence with the team members. Including it in the onboarding process is also pivotal. So that way, when someone enters in, and I know I've spoken about this in a previous video, but when someone enters in to the organization, they know what's expected of them. They know how you all hold yourselves and what you all expect of your team members. So that sets the precedence there. And then as soon as you have a company meeting, every single time you're doing that, it's creating that repetitive process in the team member's head, to where what is it called, to where subconsciously they're thinking about it without knowing, and then they're naturally, if they're thinking about it like that, it will help them to carry themselves in a certain manner to where it aligns more with your company core values, even if they didn't start out that way. Company core values definitely take time to implement and to make sure that everyone is actually following them, but once you get them ingrained into your company culture, it will last truly a lifetime. So if this was helpful for you all, I encourage you to subscribe. I actually will be dropping a video for the next 100 days every single day. So if you want to hear more about it, definitely make sure to subscribe to my channel. If something like this sounds like something that your organization might need, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll put my book a call link below. It's absolutely a free strategy session. I just want to see how I can be of service and help you and your company and your business ventures. So until next time, I'll see you all tomorrow.